Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back with another press conference reaction. Obviously, Erik Ten Hag has just done his presser ahead of, I guess it's Monday's game against Liverpool. And we have a few things to get into, and obviously the big one is the one that's on the title, and that's about the Glazers. However, we will go through the other stuff first, and we'll come to that a little bit later on. So first up, let's talk Anthony Martial. Now, Anthony Martial is back in training ahead of this Liverpool game. Whether or not that means he's going to be fit, we'll have to wait and find out. Erik Ten Hag didn't comment on whether or not he will be available, but he is back in training, which is a good sign. Victor Lindelof, on the other hand, he's not back in training, so he will definitely not be able to feature on Monday night. To me, I would imagine if Anthony Martial was in training on Friday, come Monday, he will be fine to play. So I imagine Anthony Martial will be available for Monday, which is big news. Of course it is, because he had a fantastic pre-season. So good news in regards to Anthony Martial. Obviously, there's been a lot of transfer talk about Casemiro from Real Madrid. Obviously, a fantastic defensive midfielder. Erik Ten Hag was asked directly about Casemiro and is that deal near completion? And he simply said, look, until the player signs, I'm not going to talk about him, as we kind of come to expect from managers over the past few years at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't really speak about players before they came in. Erik Ten Hag didn't want to speak about Frankie de Jong, and he still doesn't want to talk about Casemiro. But by looks of things, Casemiro will be done this weekend. That deal's looking like it's really hotting up, and I guess that's a positive, I suppose, isn't it? Look, people will always have their opinions on Casemiro. It's certainly a panic buy, but I think he's a good player, and I'm not going to complain about us signing Casemiro. And then this is this is where we'll talk about him backing the owners. So, he was asked directly about the protests on Monday. And he said he needs everyone to be together, and he wants the fans to support the team, and the team wants the fans to support them. And he says he doesn't know about the much history. He hasn't been here for long, but he doesn't know much history of the owners. But he knows the owners want to win. So he's backing the owners and saying, look, the owners are doing what they can to support me and back me. And I think it's a rocky road to go down for Erik Ten Hag. I think obviously, the large majority of people don't want the Glazers, and I'm part of that. Obviously, I made my video about the Glazers a few days ago. If you haven't watched that, after this stream, you can go down and watch it. Obviously, it's on my channel. But realistically, if he's going to back the Glazers, he's going to have people who will kind of turn on him already because of how kind of toxic the Glazer family is, and the kind of the downfall they've kind of caused of Manchester United. And it's really dangerous when you see your manager kind of backing the Glazers like that. It's not a good look. And I would urge Ten Hag to kind of do his research and kind of see what the Glazers have done to Manchester United since joining the club. And look, obviously you've got to take it all with a pinch of salt. Like, I'm sure somewhere in his contract, he can't just come out and say, oh yeah, fuck the Glazers. But if he doesn't know about what the Glazers have done, then he should get to know. And I think there's smarter ways he could have answered that question without backing the Glazers. But I mean, we'll have to wait and find out to see how kind of the fans react to that, especially on Monday on match day. He's called upon the team to improve. I mean, he went on about work ethic, and how it's not good enough, that performance against Brentford, and we've got to see better. He was asked specifically about Cristiano Ronaldo, and asked if Cristiano Ronaldo is still in the plans for Manchester United come September the 2nd, and he said Ronaldo, he weren't the only issue against Brentford. Brentford was a shocking performance all around. Everyone needs to improve, not just Ronaldo. So he kind of questioned why Ronaldo was being called out on. The journalist then doubled down and said, will Ronaldo be here come September the 2nd? And Ten Hag said, he's in my plans. I expect him to be here. Obviously, all summer long, Erik Ten Hag has gone on and on and on about how he's excited to work with Cristiano Ronaldo and how he expects Ronaldo to be here and how he's part of the plans here at Manchester United. Obviously, all summer long, it seems as if Cristiano Ronaldo has looked for a way out of the club. However, he never eventually got that. Yeah, so he never eventually got that move, and now he plans to do an interview where he kind of tells everyone about the fake stories that's gone on. I mean, I have my doubts about that, but that's a kind of another story. Manchester United will win 3-0 against Liverpool. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. So, I mean, speaking of the Liverpool game, Ten Hag was asked about the Liverpool game, and he was asked, going into a game like that, given the result against Brentford and Brighton, will there be a kind of a change of plan, a change of system, philosophy going into this game to try and just get anything from it? And Ten Hag was kind of, well, he was strong, I would say, and I'm really happy about the response from Ten Hag. He said, obviously, for each game, you plan slightly differently. But the general plan, the general philosophy of the game will be the same. It will. We won't. We have a plan, a long-term plan at the club with Erik Ten Hag, and we're not going to deviate from that. The goal is to play a specific style, and while you do change for game to game, on the whole, you play the same way, like you see of Man City, like you see of Liverpool, the Barcelonas, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. They'll make slight changes here and there, maybe personnel-wise, to suit this game. So, for example, Man City, when they play Liverpool, they probably won't start both Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva in midfield. They might start a Gundogan in midfield alongside De Bruyne, because it just adds a kind of... It's a small tweak that will allow them to play the way they want to play still. However, it makes them more... Well, it makes them less susceptible to Liverpool. And that's kind of what Ten Hag is going on about. We ain't going to make wholesale changes. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumours and people saying we should go to a three at the back for this game. And I assume that's kind of what he's kind of thinking about. And he's saying, I'm not going to go to the three at the back. I have a way I want to play, and we're going to stick by those philosophies. And that will be a 4-3-3. That will be trying to keep the ball pressing high, pressing a constant kind of press. I know that we're better. I'm not sure. Liverpool is a tough game, and I mean both teams are in bad spells at the moment. I think obviously Liverpool haven't won yet. Neither have we. We've obviously lost 2. They've drawn 2. I think Liverpool are deceptible. And if there was ever a time to play Liverpool at home, at Old Trafford, given their state of affairs at the moment, it would be this time. However, it's a shame we haven't come into this game with a bit of a run. If we had beaten Brighton, beaten Brentford, I would go into the Liverpool game thinking, we can win this. But given we've lost, and the fashion of defeats, I cannot sit here and say we're going to beat Liverpool. I think Liverpool could beat us quite easily, and it could get quite high, the scoreline. Anyway, leading on from the plan, and about his philosophy, he was asked about has he taken any of the criticism he has received on board, and is he planning on changing? And he said, well, look, he's heard it all, and he's taken some on board, and some of it he hasn't. And I think that's kind of important. I think you've got to back yourself as a manager, and of course you're going to take some criticism. There's been a lot of criticism over the signing of Lisandro Martinez. I think a lot of it unjustified, because I think he's done very well really since he's come in. However, some of it he does have to get questioned on some of the decisions he's made. And for example, why is the kind of pursuit of Frankie de Jong kind of gone on for so long? Why have we not tried to kind of change and look for different targets if Frankie de Jong looks so clearly like it's not going to happen? And hopefully he's taken that on board. And obviously, looks like we've kind of gone in for Casemiro, and looks like that deal will kind of happen this weekend. Whether or not he'll be available for Liverpool, I doubt. But I think even if you do get a Casemiro, you want someone alongside him as well. Where we'll be in the top four. I think, look, at the start of the season, I said we'd get third. Not looking so great at the moment, but I'm not totally opposed to the idea of United still getting third. Although, maybe put that down to fourth. Arsenal look the real deal. And the last thing kind of that was said was in regards to the team. Obviously, we spoke about how the team needs to improve, and they need to work hard to improve. He just commented saying, look, since I've come in what was it, about 2 months ago or so, they've worked very, very hard. During pre-season, they were great, and it's kind of just bringing that hard work, keeping it going, keeping it moving. And eventually, when it comes to the games, kind of transitioning that hard work and what we've done and doing on the training ground and putting it into a match and kind of seeing how good we really are. And that's kind of the missing piece for Manchester United at the moment. It's all well and good being able to do it all on the training ground, but it's about transitioning it onto the pitch. And I think that's something which Manchester United really needs to kind of work on. You remember back to after the Brentford game, Ten Hag said in his press conference that he's seen David De Gea. He was questioned about David De Gea, and if David De Gea is good enough to play as that kind of sweeping keeper that Ten Hag likes to use. And Ten Hag was straight up. He said, I think he can do it. I've seen him doing it in training. Now, obviously, it's great that he's doing it in training, but we're not seeing that in the match. And if we're seeing all these hard work and these good performances in training, and players like Scott McTominay must be doing something in training to be starting week in, week out. We need to see it transition into that first team and actually start seeing them playing well, because at the moment they're not. And like David De Gea, if he is capable of being that sweeper keeper, coming out and sweeping up behind the back four, allowing us to play that high line, if he is able to come claim crosses, if he's able to distribute calmly and effectively, unlike what he showed against Brentford, well then, fantastic. We don't need to sign a new goalkeeper long term. Well, for the short term, sorry. But if he's only doing it in training, he's not going to bring it to a match, then we do need to, because I don't really care what they're doing in training or pre-season. It's about what they do on a match day. It's about what they do when we play Brighton, when we've played Brentford, when we play Liverpool, when we play Chelsea, when we play Arsenal, Southampton, Bournemouth, so on and so forth. But that is when it matters. And if De Gea can only show it in a training session, well, I'm sorry, but he's got to be moved on, or at least demoted to second string until he proves the fact he can. And that's obviously the thing with Manchester United and the kind of squad at the moment. It's too many kind of ifs and buts rather than actual proof. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it. As the press conference go, it wasn't much, wasn't very good. To kind of re-go over everything, Anthony Martial is back in training and is available. Well, should be potentially available for the Liverpool game. Ten Hag didn't officially say he is available, but if he's in training, I believe he has been for a couple of days, he should be back for Monday. He should at least be able to feature in that game. Whether or not that's as a start, we're not sure, but he should be able to at least feature. Ten Hag has backed the Glazers, saying the Glazers want to win. They have an ambition to win, and they've backed the Glazers. Not a smart thing to do, but they have. They have said that they want the fans to back and support the team on Monday, regardless of the protest. They want the fans in the ground. They want them supporting the team because the fans, because the club needs the fans in what is such a big game and a crucial game, given both teams start to this season. He's called for the players and the team to work hard and improve. Although I did say the team has worked hard, but that kind of needs to continue. They need to work even harder, and we need to start seeing what's been going on the training ground in the match. He said, despite the defeats, he ain't going to change the way he wants to play. He's got a style. He's going to stick with it, and it will bring results. He's taken some criticism on board, but he's not taking it all. He knows what he's doing. He's not naive. He's been in the game for a long time. He knows the mistakes he's made, and he's taken that on board. And he's constantly looking to try and better this team. And on with Cristiano Ronaldo finally. He has said Cristiano Ronaldo, he's got a lot of criticism and unjust at times. He wasn't the only problem in the games against Brentford and Brighton. And he expects Cristiano Ronaldo to stay long term at Manchester United, or at least for this season. And he says he's in his plans, regardless of what the media says and the reports that Cristiano Ronaldo has been looking for a way out of Manchester United, which I do think he probably has been. He believes Cristiano Ronaldo will be here come September the 2nd, obviously after deadline day, and will be in his plans. That is it from me today. If you have enjoyed, please hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. We have got more shows coming out today, so we've got a Premier League preview, which will be later tonight, probably about 8 o'clock ish. Later on today, I will probably do something about the Casemiro deal and kind of just bring you the latest on Casemiro. As well as that, we will, of course, keep you updated with any other transfer news that kind of happens beforehand. And if any big developments come about the Casemiro deal, that will also be brought to you when it happens. We'll also be having a match preview out for the Liverpool game. That will be out on Sunday, maybe Saturday. Depends kind of what's going on. Saturday or Sunday will be the preview for that, for the Liverpool game. And obviously Monday we will have the watch along. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below. It helps out the channel loads, and that would be greatly appreciated. And subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated, and it would help to build this community, which is now 425 strong. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.